Hello all, Jamie Rogers here for Craftmania today to give you a couple of last minute Christmas inspirational ideas. Today we're going to actually be looking at this card here, which is really quick and simple actually. I think we'll have a very short video for this one, but hopefully it'll give you an idea of how you could batch make your cards really quickly, especially if you come to sell them, or I've said this on other videos and I know it's a bit naughty, but sometimes we have cards that or people that we don't necessarily want to spend the hours upon hours making a card for, but we need to make them a handmade card. I'm looking at you, postman, but you've got to do it. So this might be a nice card to do that's going to be quick and simple. So that's hopefully the idea behind it anyway. So if you're new to the little videos that we're doing here at Craftmania, throughout November we've been uploading little videos along the way to hopefully give you a few ideas. I've laid out a few of the cards around our table here to show you some of the ideas that will be covered on videos, or even if not, just to give you a bit of inspiration as you scan over them. Pretty much all of the bits that you're going to see on this video and on most of these cards are available on the Craftmania website, which is www.craftmaniacrafts.com. And if you pop on there, across sort of like just under the heading bit as such, you'll see all the different sections, and one of them is called As Seen on TV. If you give that a little click, I know we're not technically on telly, but it keeps it easy for you and me, hopefully. If you give that a little click, it'll drop down a whole list of menus, and the one you want to find, or pages, is the one that we want to find. It's called November-YouTube-Last Minute Christmas Ideas. And in there, you've got all of the products that we're going to be looking at, or most of them at least, all with lots of special offers and bits. So it's a really good time to go and get stocked up, whether you're chasing time and trying to get cards done for this Christmas, or maybe you want to start next year, or you're a scrapbooker who wants to do your scrapbooking after the Christmas season's happened, or maybe you want to make some Christmas decorations. Lots of the bits in there are going to come in handy for all of them different occasions. So the one we're looking at today is using one of our paper cut Christmas edges. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Sorry about that. Paper cut Christmas edges, and this is the picture ones which were released this year. So I have a few boards here to show you the whole collection, just to give you a bit of an idea. We have a Father Christmas, which is actually really lovely for paper piecing. I'm going to bring this card in straight away to show you, because if you just cut out your die in a few different shades and then pop them back in places where they cut out from, you can make up some really nice pictures with him, or you could colour him in. I'm going to try and get Pete to take you to a card just over on the side here, where that one's actually been coloured in with some alcohol markers and gone over with some clear embossing powder to give it a really nice glazed look. So if you don't want a paper piece, colouring can be quite simple. So that's one of the designs. We also have our 3 snowmen together, which is just really lovely. I believe this is probably the most popular one here at Craftmania from this collection. You've all loved this design and been stocking up on this all throughout the year since they were released. But really lovely, intricate design. Now, it's worth mentioning, if you haven't heard of paper cuts before, how they all work, and you probably guessed by the last two, is that they actually stay on your card. About 50% of the design cuts away from your card, about 50% cuts into your card. So you end up with this really filigree edge, which gives you the art of paper cutting, but in a die format, so that you don't have to attempt to do this with a knife. One die, one pass through your machine. This is the style of effect you're going to end up with. This, of course, is our fox design, our celebration fox. Now, he's really good because although he's one of the Christmas collection, obviously there's no reason we can't dress him up for birthdays, New Year's Eve, and pretty much any celebratory reason that you want to celebrate and send a card or a project for. This could be really lovely for that, because all he is just wearing a little party hat. So he's going to fit in perfectly for any of them occasions. We then have our Christmas tree. Now, this is one of my favourites. You're going to see this dotted around. I've done it on boxes. I've done it on cards. Really love this design. Really good for paper piecing again. Really delicate work, as you can see. But just a really pretty design. Then we have our little penguins. Now, I'm going to be showing you how this one cuts in a moment, so you can actually see them in action, because I think that's always important for you to know what they're going to be doing. So these are our lovely penguins that, as you can see, cut out really well. This one's a really good design as well if you want to cut into it and just release maybe a penguin, or if you want to layer it, it works really well to do that, as well as, of course, paper piecing. Always see that one with lots of glitter on in my mind for some reason. This is the design we're actually going to be using on today's card, which is our mistletoe robins. Which again is really pretty. I love the way that the wings cut, so you can actually 3D the wings and give it a bit more depth if you want to. And then the last one I've put hooked out for this little set, because you're going to see it on several of the cards. This wasn't released this year. I believe it was last year's design, but off the top of my head. But this is our Merry Christmas edger. There's loads of these, by the way, on our website. these is just really showing you most of this year's collection of the pictures. There was also a whole collection released this year of the words. We've got videos coming up with them as well. You may have already seen some, but do check out the YouTube channel or Craftmania on Facebook to see all of the different videos we've been releasing. But there are other words that we've been doing in the Edger format. And although this is always important to remind you, although we're showing you these in the Christmas format, these Edgers come in flowers and fairies and pictures. There's dolphins, there's feathers, there's all sorts available on the website in this Edger format. So if Christmas isn't your thing, or you've done Christmas, do check out the website, because you're going to be able to use all of the techniques and bits I'm showing you with them designs just the same. So what we're going to do first of all is actually cut one of our dies so you can see how well they're going to work. And I'm going to work in an A5 machine for this. Now, if you have an A4 machine, obviously you can pop your die on and send it through, and you don't have to worry about folding your card in half. Now, the downside of folding your card in half is once we've sent this through, where the die actually sits on the card, on the insert of the card, it's going to leave an impression under here, like an embossed marking. I'm never too worried, because I tend to put insert card on the inside of my card, which would cover that up anyway. But I'll show you more about that in a second. But we're going to use our new machine, and we've got these on the website already, and they're on offer. They're A5 machines. They come with all the plates you need. They're meant to be $79.99, but they're reduced to just $67.99 at the moment. One of the bits I really like, actually, before I seal this, is the fact that you have magnetic plates for your cutting. So you don't need to tape anything in place. You don't need to worry about your dies constantly moving. Even if you're doing 100 little flower dies, they're all going to stay in place, and it's going to cut for you. So it saves you using tape to keep everything in place, saves you worried about your dies moving. We're going to use just our clear cutting plate to go on top of that, and we're going to send that through our machine. And it's actually a really easy machine to use as well. Considering we're using 2 levels of cardstock in here and our die, it does go through very easy in comparison to a lot of machines I've used. So I really do like this one. Once it's gone through, we can see that our cutting has been completed for us, and all of them bits are going to fall away quite nicely. Now, this is the embossing bit I was on about earlier. So this is where your die has gone through and made an impression on your card. So this is where I would bring in an insert panel, cover that up, and actually write my message or stamp my message, or maybe use that lovely Merry Christmas Edger die to cover that piece up. But as I said, A4 machine, you could send it through that way, you wouldn't have that impression. So up to you what machine you wish to have. Once we've sent it through, we can just fold our card back the other way, and as you can see, we have our Edger cut nicely in place. Now, we can actually fold these against the score lines, or you could score it on a scoreboard, and you can bring this up as an Edger element, so it would literally stand like an easel. One of the ways I prefer to use these is I take a ruler and I just mark around a little box going around the edge here, and then I tend to cut it out with a knife for speed, because I've done this on several videos and you may have already seen this happen. So I don't want to keep you waiting too long for me to get onto the good bit of the demo. But if you trim this part away, and we'll take that down to the extent of that side, this piece will fall out because that's the edge of it. And then we have in there our very own aperture with our decorative panel in the centre there. So our lovely penguins are just going to be floating in that area. Now, of course, that's one way we can use them. We can again then fold this if we want to and turn it back into our easel, and we don't have to worry about the bits behind it. We could add our lovely pearl lines to go around here and cover up our cut marks, but I would do it with a knife and a ruler so you get nice straight lines. Or if you prefer, and obviously if you were going to do this, you wouldn't have cut this on a card blank. You could just use a piece of card normally to save a bit of money. But you can just cut them out and use them as a freestanding item. So although they're an edger which stays attached to your card, you're going to find a lot of ways in which you can bring these into your different types of crafting and different effects you're going to be able to achieve with them. So we'll pop them to one side, and we're going to bring in our nice simple card. So for this one, what I've got in our backing panel here, we've got some lovely blue foundations card, and then we've gone and got a piece of bright white card, and I've sent this through one of our A4 embossing folders. Now, I'm going to be honest, I can't remember if this is one of the designs, but on the website we've got quite a few A4 embossing folders in our half price sale. I believe they're only £5 by memory. So do check that out in the sales section on the website, because there are some bargains to be had there. And then we're going to bring in our top layers. So what I've done here is I've just taken a piece of white card again. I've already padded on the back here so it's ready to stick on. And I've popped one of my border elements on the top here. Now this border is a snowflake border that you're going to find on the website. And we have one to go on the other end as well. So I'm going to bring in some Cosmic Shimmer Glue. Now this is our Dries Clear Cosmic Shimmer Glue. And it's worth giving this a mention actually. They've recently just changed the nozzle and the lid style to the bottles. And I really like this style because in my craft room, in the next room along in the house, I've actually glued this down to my desk. So I keep the lid there at all times, and I keep the bottle up the wrong way as such, so that the glue is always ready to come out. So even if I get down to the end pieces of a bottle, it's still there and ready to come through and ready for me to use it. And these are actually on offer on the website as well at the moment. All of our Cosmic Shimmer glues are at the moment, whether you want the highlight of the 30ml, the 60ml, or the 125, they're all on different offers. But I just find that nozzle really helps. Just make sure that you do put the bottle firmly into the nozzle, because if not, when you come back, you'll end up with like a little shot glass full of glue. That's not good for anybody. So make sure it's in there nice and firmly. Once we've got our glue out, I'm just going to pad the border just across this nice sort of detailing bit across the base there. Now, if you didn't want to stick this directly on, you could thread a nice thin ribbon through that part, or a nice cord if you wanted to. Give yourself a bit of a decoration. We're going to pop that onto our design. And then like I showed you, I was doing it sort of a second nature, but with this, what I quite like to do is bring in a pen or something and squeeze the design against it and just shape that up so it gives it more of a sort of rounded effect. I'm going to try and do it on this side as well, but our glue is still a bit wet, so we might pull it away, but no, I think we're okay. So just give that a nice curl and a bit of a shape, and then it's going to sort of work a bit more like an actual filigree panel to hold everything in place. We're going to take off our foam tape off the reverse of this one. Told you this was a nice, quick, simple card. But sometimes we need them, don't we? We can't always afford to spend hours on every single Christmas card. We're going to pop that hopefully somewhere in the centre. Pop that one down. And then we're going to bring in our die cut. So as I mentioned earlier, our die cut is really nice because of the wings are separate on three sides as such, so we can actually cut them and lift that out slightly and have more of a 3D effect. And I've already put some foam tape on the reverse of this one, so you can just pop them bits off. And we're going to check that we've got our card the right way around, which we have. That was novel. The amount of cards I make back to front and upside down is ridiculous. I get waffling and then I forget about it, and then I forget to check what way it is. So you do have to keep an eye on me. Bonus points to anybody who watches all these videos and finds the one that I didn't do right and didn't confess either. I just carried on going thinking, oh dear. But yeah, there is some that are wrong, and that's out of the ones we've filmed already. I'm sure there'll be another one before we're done. Then I'm going to take our Christmas wishes wording. Now this is one of our little mini expressions dies from Sue Wilson. That of course is available on the website, and we have lots of different versions of them. And we're just going to pop that down the bottom. Oh, I know what I forgot. Here I am sitting on it. See, this is what happens when I talk and don't work. Can we get this off? Oh, I don't know. We're not going to leave it. We're going to leave it. Who cares? So on my original, I've put in another layer of card, which if you wish to, you can add in if you have a memory, but I don't. It's actually quite funny, and I shouldn't confess this, but we've been filming videos in day blocks for these November uploads, and this is, I think, about the 3rd or 4th day of filming, and all of the others have gone pretty smoothly. Today, this is the 4th video we've filmed, and every single one of them, something major has gone wrong. In one of them, I couldn't find my glue, and do you know why I couldn't find my glue? Peter, my lovely cameraman, had taken it to another room. No wonder I couldn't find it on my desk. It was in the kitchen. Why wouldn't I know that? Hey,
keep him on his toes.
Yeah, keep him on my toes, according to Pete. So yeah, there's been little dramas in all of them. So when you do see these uploaded throughout November, you'll probably be able to pick which ones were done on today. So never mind. It's what it's all about, and it's good to show that we all make mistakes or leave bits out or forget bits. So that's our finished card. This one with the extra layers as well. A few extra pearls on this one too to boot. But just a really quick, simple, easy card for you to do if you do need to make a lot in a hurry. Or sometimes we just like plain and simple, don't we? So once again, all of the bits that we've shown you in this video are available on the website. It's www.craftmaniacrafts.com, and you're going to head to the section under the As Seen on TV tab that is called November YouTube Last Minute Christmas Ideas. You can order online if you wish to, or you can order via phone. Our phone lines are open from 9 AM to 7 PM Monday to Sunday, so literally 7 days a week, and you'll get to talk to Daphne if you do wish to give us a call. She can process your order. Doesn't matter if you do it via phone or internet. If you live in the UK, literally if you spend over £5, your P&P is completely free. If you wish to shop with us internationally, once again, not a problem. Your P&P is capped at just £10. You can find out more about both of them systems on our website under the frequently asked questions. And lastly, before I let you go on this one, throughout November we have got a promotion running on the website whereby if you spend £10 or more, you'll receive a free die worth £8.99. The designs keep changing, they keep running out quicker than we can keep up with them. So I've stopped showing you them on the videos, although there are a few videos that we pre-filmed at the beginning of the month thinking they would last all month, and they ran out so quickly that we keep changing them to keep up with demand. So if you pop on the website, it will pop up in its own little box and show you the current design that is being given away. If you've qualified for previous free designs, then you're more than welcome to spend over £10 and qualify for this design. If you've already qualified for this design and received it, or it's processing and coming through, then we're not going to send you a duplicate of that, because we want to try and send them out to as many households as we can. So it is limited to one die per household. But as I say, if you've already had, for instance, the sleigh and reindeer or the cake one, then there's nothing stopping you for spending and qualifying for today's design. You don't have to write any comments or any coupons or anything like that. Literally just spend over £10, and as we pack your order, we will put your free die in for you as a little thank you from us to you. If you have any questions about today's video, no funny questions about my missing layers or my lost glue or anything else, hopefully, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments and I will do my very best to answer them for you. Thank you so much for watching, and keep an eye out for more videos coming your way soon. Bye for now.